Hi everyone, welcome to this training program on earthing and soil properties. As we have been discussing in the other two modules, we should understand the properties of the soil. Before that, the objectives of the modules developed is the author is a qualified and experienced in electrical engineering, power electronics, energy conservation and auditing, design and implementation of solar photovoltaic power plant, to share his theoretical and practical knowledge with engineering professionals to improve their skills and in turn to develop India. We have already discussed about the earthing in the last video. Now, in the earthing, we are allowing the current to flow through the ground. That is, I call it as the soil. So we should understand the properties of the soil also. So the electrical conductivity is the ability of a material to conduct, transmit an electrical current, and it's a common expression in units of millisiemens per meter. The subject of earthing covers the problems relating to the conduction of electricity through earth. The term earth and earthing have been used in the code irrespective of the reliance being placed on the earth itself as a low impedance return path of the fault current. I'll again repeat this. The terms earth and earthing have been used in the code irrespective of the reliance being placed on the earth itself as a low impedance return path for the fault current. So we have to see that the fault current goes through the earth and closes the circuit. It's a current flows through the closed circuit and the relay will trip. Now the electrical conductivity is the ability of the material to conduct an electrical current, and it's a common expression in units of millisecond. The subject of earth covers the problems related to conduction of the earth. The term earth and earthing have been used in the code irrespective of the reliance being placed on the earth itself as a low impedance path. So these three you should remember it very well in this particular case. The loam soil with fertilizer added will have the highest level of electrical conductivity. And dirt without moisture, that is a water content, is not a very good conductor, is not a good ground. Generally, we call it as a poor conductor. So the dirt is not a very good conductor by itself, and therefore by itself is not a good ground. If the mineral contaminates in the water that conduct electricity, or rather the ions in these minerals will conduct them. Conductivity of various soils. Soil electrical conductivity is a measure of amount of salts in the soil. Again, last one is a measure of amount of salts in the soil. Salinity of the soil is called. It is an important indicator of a soil health. Soils containing excess salts occur naturally in and around the semi-arid climates. Salt levels can increase as a result of a cropping, irrigation, and land management. And there are, I have given two tables, how much is what is the type of the soil and how much is the average is available, how much is the maximum of conductivity of that material, second page. So this subject of earthing covers the problems relating to conduction of electricity through earth. The terms earth and earthing have been used synonymously. As a matter of fact, the earth now rarely serves as a part of the return circuit, but is being used mainly for fixing the voltage of the systems of neutral. The earth connection improves the service continuity, avoids the damage to the equipment and danger to the human life. The object of an earthing system is to provide as nearly as possible a surface under or around the station which shall be at a uniform potential as nearly zero about absolute earth potential is possible. The purpose of this is to ensure that in general all parts of apparatus other than the live parts shall be at the earth potential, as well as to ensure that the operators and attendants will be at the earth potential at all times. Also, by providing such an earth surface of a uniform potential under and surrounding the station, There can exist no difference of potential in short distances big enough to shock or injure an attendant when short circuits or other abnormal occurrences take place. Now, soil properties. Earth is a poor conductor of electricity. Typical resistance of the soil is 100 ohm meters, and for copper it is 700 micro ohm meters. You can see a lot of difference between them. It is in micro ohms metal, whereas the earth is in 100 ohms. Two main constituents of the soil are the silicon oxide and aluminum oxide, which are insulators. Soil becomes a conductive due to salts and moisture embedded in between them. Surface of a soil layers clay and moisture with decayed vegetable material. When dry, this does not conduct. With moisture content, it conducts. Soil under the surface of the earth is a non-homogeneous, hence resistivity values in a wide range from 1 ohm meter to 1 lakh ohm meters, depending on the type and nature of the soil, physical and chemical properties. Sandy soil drains faster. Solid rock does not retain the water and have a high rho. Black cotton soil or soil with organic contains moisture and have a lower rho. So we prefer that. Soil resistivity measurement is important for the design of earthing system. The variation of soil resistivity also we have to see based on the seasons it varies. Moisture in the soil is the most important element determining its conductivity, stroke resistivity. Conditions which increase or decrease the distribution of the moisture content in the soil result corresponding changes. Resistivity goes to seasonal changes as per the moisture in the soil due to climate conditions. Values of resistivity are a minimum in the rainy season and maximum in summer and dry season. For the safe design of earth mat, measurements in dry season are adopted. In this graph, you can see the x-axis and y-axis. X-axis is the moisture in the soil in terms of percentage. Y-axis the resistivity of the soil in ohm meter. Initially, you can see that when the moisture is up to something like a 5%, 7.5%, the resistivity is very high. As the moisture increases from 7.5% to slowly 15%, you see the resistivity has fallen down to something like, when it is a 15%, it has fallen down to something like a 5 ohm meter. That means if you have a 15% of a moisture, the soil can be conductive. But after 15%, even if you increase the soil moisture up to 70%, there is no increase. So let us limit it to 15 to 20%. Let us not waste the water, whatever is not required. Now, effect of salt on the soil resistivity. This graph also shows the x-axis is the percentage of the salt in moisture and y-axis the resistivity of the soil. So you can see that here around 4%, at a 0% it is a 400, but at a 4%, this resistivity has come down to something like a 5%. Even beyond that, if you increase the percentage of the salt, it is not coming down. So we can peg it somewhere around 5%. So at 5% of this. Now we can see effect of a salt on soil resistivity. You have already seen, but graph also I have made. You can see here the salt percentage in this case by weight of the moisture is increasing and the resistivity is coming down to something like a 1%. So when the resistivity, when the moisture is something like a 20%, the resistivity has come down to 1. That is what we wanted. Effect of temperature on soil resistivity. Here the x-axis is a temperature starting from some minus, less 0, less 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Whereas the y-axis you can see is a very big figure. Maximum is about 4 lakhs. That means as the temperature increases from minus to something like a plus 4, Water is always in a solidified form of ice at a lower temperatures less than 10. But as it comes to 4 and above 4, it becomes a liquid. So then you have the moisture in the soil. So as the temperature increases, the liquid water flows start in. And then we have a conductivity coming into the picture. So here you can see when the temperature is around 30, this is almost to reach to the bottom level. Beyond increasing the temperature, is effect is not there. So soil resistivity measurement is an important for the design of a earthing system. So before you decide on a substation has to come at a particular point, based on the size of the plant or based on the size of the area what you have selected, you have to go for the soil resistivity measurements and see how is the soil resistivity distributed across the total area, where you can fix up a transformer, because the fault current has to come back to the transformer through the neutral route. So that is what you have to do it. So this chapter is closed here, and next chapter we will see the thing of types of electrode. So we have seen the soil. Now inside the soil we'll be fixing the electrode which carries the current. That's called the earth. Thank you very much.